Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to EAW Presents BREWS and BRUISES with your host, the master of the microphone, Marty Speedman, and his co-host, the awesome one, Tim Herbert.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to EAW Presents BREWS and BRUISES. Now we're coming live from the Ghost Bar in downtown Farmingdale, New York, and I'm joined as always by my cohort, the awesome one, Tim Herbert. How are you, Timbo?
Marty, it's great to be back. BREWS and BRUISES is back. Our last episode, the Christmas special, did over 20,000 views.
We
correct. Thank you all.
Thank you. A very boozy Christmas, over 20,000 views. We're coming at you, ladies and gentlemen. We're trending live and we're loving it, right?
Can't beat it, man.
You know it. That's correct. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight we have a lot of things going on. We're going to be having a lot of brand new segments coming at you, starting with the Spotlight Wrestler. It's going to be tonight none other than the man known as the Beast, Dan Severn. We're going to have a special little message coming your way. Let's take it away, Dan!
Dan the Beast Severn here, the only Triple Crown champion in the UFC's no-holds-barred era. If you don't know what that means, go look it up. Google yourself. Here to give a shout out to a great new organization known as EAW. Yeah! And Marty Speedman, you better call that action straight, otherwise I'll suplex you out of your boots.
Now that was unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I don't know what the deal is lately. It seems like everyone wants to just beat the heck out of me. I don't know what's going on here, Tim.
You know what? I can't blame them some of the time, Marty.
Oh my goodness.
You got two NWA world champions, Sabu and Dan Severn. They want to suplex you and get you with an Arabian face bust.
I don't understand it. It's like craziness. I'm assuming it's wild over here, ladies and gentlemen. It's craziness. But if you think that's craziness, you gotta stay tuned for our next spotlight match. It's gonna be Dan the Beast Severn against some guy. I don't even remember his real name, but you're gonna have to check it out.
Introducing first, from Mexico City at 215 pounds, he has a black belt in Chuan Chiao. This is Benson Lee. And his opponent, from Detroit, Michigan, he is the ultimate fighter. He is also the current NWA champion. Weighing 260 pounds, here is Dan Severn. You must either win by submission or knockout. Your referee is Tony Milano.
Go ahead.
Wow, Dan Severn versus Benson Lee. What do you think, Timbo?
I think, Mr. Lee was being quite disrespectful of, Dan Severn's UFC past, and no wonder why Dan Severn wiped the crap out of him, beat the shit out of him across the mat. Dan Severn, UFC camp multiple time, UFC camp, collegiate camp, and you go in there making fun of him in a gi like you're Hoist Gracie, and Dan Severn beat the crap out of him like he beat the crap out of Hoist Gracie.
That's what we're trying to establish here. I don't understand what Benson Lee was thinking and putting his title on the line like that. It made no sense whatsoever. But you know what? Dan Severn wound up going in there. He showed him what the beast is truly about. It's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen.
Dan Severn unleashed the beast,
Unleash the Beast. That's a Spotlight Wrestler of the Night. Dan the Beast Severn, ladies and gentlemen. Classic.
Go ahead.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have also had a lot of things go down within the world of wrestling since the last time we were on the air. I mean, speaking of All Elite Wrestling, that's pretty crazy right there. All Elite Wrestling coming full steam ahead, signing Kenny Omega and making him vice president. That's unbelievable.
That is very big, but they didn't just sign Kenny Omega. They signed the Lucha Brothers.
The Lucha Brothers, correct, yes.
And they took out the Young Bucks at the press conference.
That's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. You see, they're going ahead and they're signing so many people at this point. They're pretty much headhunting who they want to go and pick and who they want to be within their organization. Now, there have been a lot of rumors going around. Now, I'm sure we've all heard about the rumor a little while back about a big name within WWE was stating that he received an offer that was almost too good to be passed. Now, it turned out that the rumor was actually, everyone when they first heard it thought that it would be Dean Ambrose, because we all know that he's leaving WWE. But it wound up turning out to be none other than Randy Orton spreading the rumor, saying that he would be open to a discussion with AEW about jumping ship over to them. Now, it's funny to go and hear that because AEW they declined. They said that is not true. That is a fabrication. And all that Randy Orton was doing was using that as leverage to get more money through the WWE. What do you think about that?
I think, they might have to say that, because he's a contractor wrestler, so they couldn't really be tampering with that contract, saying they reached out to Randy Orton. I could see why they would. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, the 2-3 generation superstars fighting for their belts would be a huge storyline.
Very true, very true.
They have a lot of momentum. Jericho gave a big promo through Twitter and Instagram about how he's the one who really made them sell out in 4 minutes for their next event, and The Rock retweeted it, which gets them huge publicity because a lot of wrestling fans who know The Rock may not know about All Elite Wrestling because that's for the hardcore fans.
Very true.
Now you got The Rock blowing that out to his millions and millions of followers, and The Rock's giving them a thumbs up saying, Jericho, you did a great promo.
Now, you see, that's something that's very interesting because, The Rock and Jericho, these are all WWE guys. Everybody that knows them knows they have been, WWE strong for years now. Now, do you think that there's going to be bad blood between these guys in the WWE for even just saying how great of a job AEW is doing?
I don't think so, just from the fact today the big news was DX going into the Hall of Fame. And
Very
Billy
true.
Gunn works for All Elite Wrestling,
Very
so I couldn't
true.
even believe they put DX in the Hall of Fame with him being there.
Now, that's going to be the question. Do you think Billy Gunn is actually going to be at the Hall of Fame?
He's in the logo and the stuff they put on Instagram and
Very
Twitter.
true.
He's up, and they have China up on there.
Very
so it's
true.
all
Which
members of DX.
I will say I personally feel that she does rightfully so deserve to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Of course.
I think that it's, I will say, a little bit of a overdue for her to be in the Hall of Fame.
I believe so. She was beating up guys when there wasn't even really women wrestling on
Very
WWF.
true, very true.
She was the Intercontinental Champion. Come on.
You're right there. Now, I don't want to go straight from the subject too much, though. I have a question about All Elite. For you, Timbo.
All right.
Now,
it to
this
me.
is my question number one. You heard about who they're signing and everything. Now, if it's true that they are trying to go after Randy Orton, do you feel the main roster is going to be oversaturated with top-name guys? I mean, if they're trying to build Kenny Omega and Dustin Rhodes to be... Not Dustin Rhodes. I apologize. Cody Rhodes to be the main eventers. What do you feel will happen if they do add in somebody like Randy Orton?
I feel like they got a lot of good workers, but it's pro wrestling, so you need storytellers. And you need 10 guys, 10 elite guys. And they got good guys, but they don't got star power. All they really have right now is Jericho. Kenny Omega's big, and he's big to the hardcore wrestling fan, which if you're watching this program, you are, and we love you and we respect you.
We love ya!
But a lot of people don't know that. They don't know the Young Bucks. They don't know the Lucha Brothers, because they've only been on Impact. A very small audience knows them. You need guys like the people they're reaching out to. Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton. They're talking to Goldberg. They're trying to talk to Batista. These are mega stars who break out of that wrestling world, but who can wrestle really good.
Okay, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to play a little bit of a game right here now, ladies and gentlemen. What we're going to do is we're going to be taking the top 8. We're going to be shooting back and forth. You pick your 4, I pick my 4. Who would make perfect fits within the AEW roster? Let's start it off. What do you think? Perfect pick.
One of my perfect picks, I would go with the Machine, Brian Cage.
Really? Brian Cage? That is a hell of a pick right there. That's pretty unbelievable. You know, I would actually, if I'm going to go state who I feel would be fantastic, my top pick would be going after none other than Killer Cross. I feel that his story, his character can bring a lot of excitement and anticipation to the AEW roster.
Someone else who's pretty hot right now, been doing it a long time, had a great match last night. I'd pick Kofi Kingston.
Kofi Kingston. Now that's an interesting pick right there. You know, I mean, he is red hot after last night, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. I'm going to go on to my pick and who I would choose. I would actually go with probably, you know, I hate to do this, but I would have to pluck them again from TNA and take Johnny Impact. You know, I would gladly grab Johnny Impact. And I heard he may even be going there.
I would pick him too. That was one of my picks. You
Oh,
know,
my
he's definitely someone who fits that style.
That's what I thought. I thought that would be fantastic to see him there.
Another pick for me, I'm going with Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler, someone who has been adamant that he's being underused within the WWE, which a lot of the fans agree that he's being underused. I personally feel that he could be used in a better light. I like the way they were doing with him and Drew McIntyre. I thought that was a fantastic faction, but then they go and break them up and they do nothing with him. It's a real shame if you're asking me.
I like that pairing. It reminded me of Shawn Michaels and Diesel back in the day.
Exactly. It was a really great pairing, and I feel that, you know, they didn't do him much justice after that. So to see him in AEW would be fantastic. I'll give you that one. That would be really great. Now, as for me, I would personally love to see, this guy would be a legend, actually, but I think he could put on some fantastic matches over there, and I think he would fit their bill pretty good. He may be a little bit pricey, but the man known as RVD, I think would be fantastic within AEW.
I would love for him to go to there. I think that would be a great pick, but I don't know. We just know he's signed to go to Impact with Sabu, our good friend.
True. You know, I feel bad. I'm picking all of Impact's talent. If I was AEW, I'd be poaching all their guys. I think that, unfortunately, I don't feel that Impact had the capacity to promote these wrestlers the way that AEW has. So that's why I would be picking from their roster, mostly.
Well, if they don't have contracts, you can pick who you want.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
These guys, All Elite Wrestling, are probably going to be on, the word on the street is they're going to be on either TBS or TNT. Ted Turner is getting back into the wrestling game.
Very true. We're going to have to see, ladies and gentlemen. Now for your final pick, your number 1 pick to get into AEW, who would you choose?
Can I give, because there's 2 people I really want to pick.
Okay.
And I'm going to give, I think, Batista deserves a good last run.
Batista.
And he loves the I guess you would call it the ruthless aggression era style or the attitude era. And he's not going to get that in WWE now. So he could really go there. He could have a great feud with Brian Cage. Pass the torch type of thing. He could have great matches with Cody. He's had great matches with Jericho. He could have great matches with Omega. It would be fantastic.
I agree.
But someone else who's been rumored to go there, and I feel he really deserves to go there because the WWE has given him titles. He's made himself a mega star. The Rock was in the ring and they were chanting his name. Not The Rock's, but they were chanting Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder. That would be a hell of a pick to actually go there. Zack Ryder would be fantastic. I think he could actually do a lot more over there than what he's doing right now. And, I think it'll be fantastic. I mean, the man is blowing up the internet right now with his show with him and Hawkins, yeah, Kurt Hawkins. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Hawkins might even go. They let
I
him
heard
go.
about that.
He started his own promotion. He started his own school. He came back. And they made him like the loser version of Goldberg.
Course. I mean, don't get me wrong.
200 plus losses,
I
really?
think it's a funny gimmick, but that is the problem with WWE. They're using a lot of great talent and making them just comedic experience. And we don't need that, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a great wrestler, show it in the ring. For my last pick, I think that I would actually go with a wrestler that is fed up with the WWE at this point. A wrestler that is fed up with all the nonsense that's going on over there. And you know him as well as I do, the lunatic fringe Dean Ambrose. I feel he would be the perfect fit over there. And I would lose the Dean Ambrose character and go with Johnny Moxley. Why not?
Well, you probably would have to.
That's what I'm
Dean
thinking.
Ambrose is like trademarked by WWE.
Johnny Moxley. Everyone knows Johnny Moxley is a hardcore wrestler. I think that would be unbelievable over there. I think that would be a perfect fit if you're asking me.
Some really good feuds for him to have. Him and Hangman Page could have a great match.
Exactly. And you know what's so fantastic about him? Even if he's not in the major feud, he is still a great person to have an entertaining match. You can have him in the undercard and still put on a show-stealing match. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and you need that name present. What I mean?
Yes.
He's coming off a big WWE run. A lot of these guys are. And you need that WWE audience, which has been, getting stripped away. They going off like the lowest ratings ever, and then they say,
Very true.
oh, we're going to change it. We're going to do what the fans want. But they're doing the exact opposite. Vince hasn't been on TV forever, and now they're bringing Vince McMahon back on TV every goddamn week. The fans don't want to see you, Vince. You're old.
I will say one thing, though. You know what? Vince has actually been stepping up, and I will say this. I actually applaud Vince McMahon for this because last night at the pay-per-view, the Elimination Chamber, he was the one to step up and say that we're not going to have the women's tag team title match at the main event. No, we're not. We're going to have the WWE Championship at the main event with the way that it should be, if you're asking me.
I feel like the main single title should be the last match, but also the women's tag title is a historic match, so you could argue for that being the last match. But I did not see the women's match. I made it to the pay-per-view late, so I have to go back and watch it, because the men's match, it was missing something for me. It's not like how they used to be the Hell in the Cell.
Well, this is what the problem
or
is.
Elimination Chamber.
This is what I think a lot of fans are not understanding. Everyone is, all excited about Kofi Kingston. He stole the show. He did an amazing job. But you got to realize, Kofi Kingston, not taking anything away from him, but he was in the ring with some of the greatest wrestlers that the sport has to offer. I mean, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, everyone. You have a lot of Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton. You have all these fantastic wrestlers, and you want to highlight Kofi Kingston. So you have all these great wrestlers that are not wrestling to their capacity because WWE want to push Kofi Kingston. Now, to me, that's just a waste. You understand? That's what I think is the major problem. You're thinking the men's Elimination Chamber is missing something. It was missing something. It was missing great wrestling. It really was.
It's like they didn't give them... I don't know if it was the pacing of the people coming out of the pods or what they were letting them do. Like Daniel Bryan being scared of Joe was kind of comical to me. It's like we all know these guys fought 100 times all over the world. Some of the most hard-hitting wrestling matches ever.
Of course.
And you haven't, I understand that it's the new Daniel Bryan character, whatever. He's eco-friendly. Who gives a shit? You know, you could have had those two go have some classic cane wrestling and submission and slapping the shit out of each other with the chops. It just didn't make any sense, you know, Daniel Bryan being scared of Joe. They fought hundreds of times all over the world, some of the most hard-hitting, hardcore, technical matches, you know, brawls, technical chain wrestling, and that's how they should have started it off. You know, and one thing that bugged me was, like, you used to see the metal of the Elimination Chamber on the floor. Now they have pads.
Oh, yeah, of
over
course.
The grates.
Of course.
We know it's metal. It's going to hurt.
Exactly.
It's wrestling. This isn't
Exactly.
ballet. You know, you say you guys market it to the kids. It's not a kid program.
You gotta realize that, and that's what the problem is, I feel, with WWE, because they are marketing it for kids, and by doing that, you're taking away some of the great wrestling that we've grown up on and expected to see. You know, that's what the major problem is here.
They say their biggest error was the Attitude Era, which I don't know how kids watched it then, because you had, you know, bra and panty matches, you had blood, you had The Undertaker sacrificing people.
Well, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
you still had toys
Of
then.
course.
And, you know, so maybe kids aren't the ones who are buying it. It's like the collectors and the hardcore
Well,
fans.
you see, this is the thing. They actually say the ratings are the lowest they've ever been for WWE, but the merchandise sales and things like that are the highest they've ever been.
But that's also because the price per figure of toy belt has gone through the roof.
Of course, it is, you know, they never offered the opportunity to buy a replica belt. I mean, these are new things that they're bringing on, and you see all these people with the replica belt. It's actually shocking to me to go and see this, but you know, that's what they do.
I personally believe if I see you, if I go to a wrestling event and you're having a replica belt, I'm challenging you for the guy.
You gotta do it.
And
If you're gonna wear
beat
your
the
belt,
shit out of you, and I'm walking out with your
hardcore
fake belt.
rules, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be wild right there.
Coming for the gold, sucker.
Coming for the gold! Well, I'm going to tell you, we have a lot of other things to talk about. We're going to go say that for the next show as we go closer to WrestleMania. But the next segment, what we are going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, a new segment. It's going to be called the Beer of the Night. And ladies and gentlemen, what we have, sorry, Big Four Trophy, we're going to have for you the Beer of the Night tonight. Voodoo Ranger IPA. It's a new Belgian beer, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's the way that it tastes, ladies and gentlemen. It has a hoppiness to it that that excites the senses, so to say. You know, it has the aromatics of slight citrus and things of that nature. If you're looking for an IPA, if you're looking for a little bit of a bitter IPA, I definitely recommend you check these guys out. They're from New Belgium Brewing Company. You know them from Fat Tire and things of that nature. Check them out, ladies and gentlemen. They're fantastic.
I think that's a great beer to have at the Ghost Bar, Voodoo Ranger.
Voodoo Ranger. We love it, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty wild. Wow, that's pretty awesome, ladies and gentlemen. That's the brand new shirt. You got to check them out. ProWrestlingTees.com/EAW. We're going to be flashing that across the screen right now. So if you want to check it out, just check it out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we had a hell of a show tonight, right, Timbo? I think so.
Of course, we always do, baby.
You know it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be having a lot of other announcements to be made within the next few weeks regarding Summertime Madness, Extreme Annihilation Wrestling's premiere event this August 2019, ladies and gentlemen. You got to stay tuned. keep plugging us, keep on checking us out. You gotta let us see what's gonna happen with our videos, ladies and gentlemen. We just got 21,000 views with the other one. We're trying to get 50,000 views with this one. Let's see what we get, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's about time, Timbo, for some
Brews
and bruises, ladies and gentlemen.